Hey, welcome to How to Build Your Own Home. We are doing something on the back of a house here. I was telling you we were going to do that. I want to introduce you to some of the crew here you guys have never met before. This here's Kyler.
Save us.
This is my son, Kyler.
What's up?
That's what's up.
What up, party people?
He has his own business called GZTs. If you need t-shirts, stuff like that, just go to GZTs. And you know Smudge here. This is Caden. This is my film guy. He's my photographer. I've got them slave labor today. And we are doing some tar on this wall here. And I want to walk you through some of the things regarding putting tar on. You can hire some crews out to do that. And I was going to do that. He bid me out kind of a high bid. And plus, he was not going to get here for a week. Well, every week matters when you're up against a mountain build, and I needed to really shave off a week, and it would have delayed everything. So we're going to get it done. We've taken a vacuum and we've or blower and cleaned out all the dirt all along the bottom of this here, and that is your most important spot, right there where the cold pour joint is. You've heard me talk about cold pour joints before. A cold pour joint is where you've got a footing, you pour it, and then you put your walls on top of that. You form your walls, you pour that. Well, the transition between the footing and that new concrete pour, that is a cold pour joint. And that is your weakest link. Now, keep in mind, I want to go over here. We actually got this wall already done over here. We're only going up about 6 feet. Why? I'm not trying to protect the concrete from water. I'm just trying to keep water from getting into the concrete. And this soil up here is very porous. This soil right here is clay. It has a tendency to expand and contract just a little bit, which is why we did not put the house on that dirt. We had to put 4 feet of clean fill that had a good proctor to it, that had a good compaction to it, and we put the entire foundation on that. Well, this footing is sitting on 4 feet of that stuff, and it's actually kind of a volcanic in a way. And when it gets water on it, it doesn't expand, it doesn't contract. It's just hard as a rock. But until it gets water on it, it's just a real dusty product. So I'm going to have a lot of porous activity going on around here. But we're going to solve for that with a French drain. So we're going to put some pipes in here. That'll be another video. There'll be holes in the pipe, and we're going to do that all the way around the foundation. Stop it here, daylight it over there, take it all the way around the house, and daylight it to the south of the house over there. So I'm doing this as just an additional precaution. I wasn't really too worried about any water getting into the home, especially under that cold pour joint, mainly because the slab inside on the other side, let's go on the other side and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's actually going to be about 6 inches above the footing. So you can see the footing right here. Right there's the footing. And this is the interior of that walkout basement. Well, this is all going to be a slab. And so that slab is going to be on top of the footing right over there, about 4 to 4.5 inches above the footing. So what does that mean? It means if for some reason there is water that is going to come back here into the back part of the home, it has to wick down and then it has to wick up. Well, before it wicks up, it would build up water if there ever was any water. And I'll explain why I don't think there's going to be any water on this, but this is just added precaution for a mountain home. But he'd have to wick up, 4.5, 5 inches, and then get on top of the slab on top of all that. So with the tar that we're putting on here, we're gooping it really nice down there, so it's not gonna get in there. And if water did back up, it'd back up maybe half a foot, maybe 2 feet at the very, very most. And then it would catch into the drainage system, which we'll put around the whole building here. But why am I not too worried? Because there's a deck all the way around this house, and I'm actually standing underneath where the garage is going to go. So, and this entire area right through here where Kyler's doing the goop on right there. This entire area is all covered with home. And it's a kind of a 3-car garage going that way. So you'd have to have moisture come underneath the garage. Oh, it requires just a massive amount of moisture to get down here 12 feet down. So I'm just not too worried about it. It's we're on the south facing slope, which doesn't get near as much moisture as on the north facing mountain across the valley over that way. So again, it's just a nice precaution to do. Check your water levels, check your hydrology, check your soils report, and find out how much water that soil can handle. A lot of jurisdictions, they'll make you just go all the way to the top. I don't even have to do this. It's not required in my jurisdiction. We live in a very arid climate, in a very dry climate. But if you live in a certain climate where this is really going all the way, it's something you need to check with your building professionals or your building office, your permitting office, and they'll let you know. So anyway, I'm going to get busy here. They're waiting for me to dig some dirt out here. You can see right through there, the dirt kind of came in. I got to dig that out so we can put the tar on that. Just want to get this little report. This is something you can do on your own. It's not that hard. You really can't make a mistake on it. Find out how high you need to go and go that height and goop it on. Just make sure that transition down there at the corner where that footing is and where the walls sit, goop it in really nice there. That's your weak spot. But this is something, for example, I had this bid out for $3,000. And we're going to save our client a lot of money. Not even half that we'll spend on making this happen for him. But again, there are some DIY things that you can't be a biscuit head on, and this is one of them. And you get this kind of product. I'll put a link below. It's at a lot of box stores. And one other key thing to keep in mind, some jurisdictions may ask you to coat it twice. So you roll it on once this way, and then you roll it again this way, and it puts it on a grid pattern, and that gives you a really good coating. Just don't put it on the same way. Wax on, like what was that movie, Karate Kid? Wax on, wax off, sideways. Remember that? It's a funny inside about who I am. I was an actor in Hollywood. I tried out for that part of the kid who was his nemesis. I actually got a callback for that a long time ago. My whole life would have changed, but really, really great movie. So just keep that in mind this way and that way, and it puts a grid pattern on there, and you're good to go. So anyway, these guys are waiting for me. Wanted to give you guys some insight on putting tar on your home. The DIY thing you can't mess up on. You guys take care.